Welcome to Spirituality with a Spin. I am Ryan Keys, your host. It is September 27th, 2016. And that was Ed Sheeran giving us a little bit of Give Me Love, which is all about the topic we have been talking about the past couple episodes. So you can also check out some really good topics on twin flame interaction, soulmates, soul braids, and the love connections with the soul over at Upbeat Buddha on YouTube. If that is not enough and you need hands-on help, if you were at the crossroads making a decision and you just need an ear to hear and an outside perspective, someone that will give you an unbiased perspective point of view, utilizing your astrological sign, the I Ching, and spiritual intuition combined with your own gut instincts, a fourfold formulation to find an answer. Go on over to psychicperspectives.com and type in the code 257 when you pick a level reading, and you will get 20% off. And then you will be in the family, in the fold, and being on your way to helping yourself. Now, we have been talking about several things involving the twin flame scenario, soulmates, false alarms, all of those things in different areas of the social media. I have been formulating a path to help everybody help themselves. Now, this is going to be based on my 15 years of interrelation experience with people having issues, writing in, one-on-one counseling, everything that has gone down when I've worked in the dating field, and all the above, as giving love advice, writing, investigating, all of those things. We're going to bring all that to bear as we do one-on-one with your readings. I'm going to go through all the 7 stages of the twin flame through this series. I'm going to go through other things that some people don't touch on. For instance, twin flame depression, which is very much like a spiritual PTSD. We're going to go through false flames. We're going to go through all of the twin flame signs and a twin flame test, which is what we're going to talk about today. Because we need to know what we don't know. Because twin flames are our mirror. They reflect back every strength and insecurity and weakness and shadow element that we have. And that requires us to do a lot of soul searching and soul work. And that's not necessarily exciting for us, right? That in itself is a tough thing. Who wants to be told what they're doing and if they're doing it right or if they're doing it wrong? Not many people, I myself included. I did a week of silence looking into myself, and wow, I saw there's some work that needs to be done, and I'm doing it diligently every day I can. In about 10 days, I am going into the wilderness, into the John Muir Trail, and I am going to try to meet my maker again and settle out some issues and problems. Just get away. Meditate. Let the mind drift into the abyss and allow the soul to unfold. Now, when you are starting to feel these things, this awakening process. There's an awakening process that we are all going through right now just because of the indirect global shift that is happening. The Mayans didn't say the world was going to end on December 21st, 2012. They said time would stop. Now, I say look around you. Don't we have evidence that time has basically stopped? There are those that go into far left field by the Mandela effect, the butterfly effect, trying to piece together actual factual things that cause the release of time. There are scientists trying to look for the God particle, spending billions of dollars in Norway, which they found. God help them. And then there are scientists exploring the near-death aspect, the beyond the fleshly barrier, going beyond the veil, as we say. So we are searching fast and far, much more than we ever have, much more than just DMT or ayahuasca or any of these other things that were used in the past, peyote or whatever it was. We're not going into sweat tents now. We're going into science. And science is on a search for the soul. Now, I say the science. I'm reminded by the ancient Hindu proverb on where you should hide your soul. When they asked, well, where should we put man's soul? Oh, surely, if we put it on the tallest mountain, he'll never find it. No, he'll get there. Well, what if we put it at the deepest recesses of the ocean? No, he'll get there too. Well, where can we put his soul where he won't find it and corrupt it? I would say let's put it inside of his chest, because he'll never think to look within. Heavy, 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 heavy. Now lift that ton of bricks off your back and look inside. And let me tell you, that's what the twin flame call to arms is about. We are getting all hokey pokey and all revved up in this state of romanticism and state of being. But I will tell you, a soulmate can be far more romantic than a twin flame. Because a soulmate is like going to Disneyland. Sure, you might be scared of some of the rides, you might feel a thrill, but the soulmate is a complementary situation that may only make you work on one thing. They might burn you, or might challenge you, or you might lose them and you work on one thing. But for the most part, that soulmate interaction is going to be something that is not going to be pivotal. It's not going to be something that is going forward, that is going to be detrimental to your entire makeup. Now, the twin flame relationship is a call to arms. It is a heart-centered, catabolic, chaotic, but creative experience. It is an opening of your heart and your soul, and then an immediate shutdown because of fear of seeing yourself. We're not really designed to see ourselves too much. How many of you look in the mirror and actually see past that little fuzzy exterior that you have, that vibratory image? How many actually see into that? How many of you actually sit in that mirror and stare beyond the exterior? How many of you can close your eyes in a meditative state and see yourself? I challenge you to do that. When I spent my week of silence, I did it, and damn, was it hard. You try to stay centered in the moment. You try not to let your mind wander to, well, next Thursday I've got to do this, and man, my back is hurting, and oh my God, my mom is probably wondering where I'm at. My dog, I hope he's okay. Stay centered. Pull away from all these distractions and see yourself. And that is where the twin flame comes in. You're going to be saying, I never felt this way before. This is so erotic and exotic. It is erogenous. I'm so in love with my twin flame. It is unbelievable. We see eye to eye. We're telepathic. We have a cognitive recognition. We feel and see everything. They are just like me. Sound the alarm. Because when you say they are just like me, whoa, hold the wagons. When they're just like you, same strengths, same rationalization, same logic, same weakness. Yeah. And how many of you are all about facing your own weakness? I don't really particularly like to go to the gym and sit underneath a 400-pound bar and try to push it up, because I believe that I can, but my body doesn't know that. So it becomes a struggle, right? You may have never felt that way before. You may have encountered this twin flame phenomenon, but are you ready? Well, after this series, you will be. If not ready, you'll have the knowledge to know where to go and how to get there. So, when you want to see your twin flame, this requires, and we're not going to go into it in depth today because this is going to be part of the series. You're going to need, I call it the knowing of the not knowing phase, where your soul knows, but your body and your mind doesn't know what's going on yet, where your awareness isn't on point yet. You don't have a complete manifestation of thought. You are trying, but you are not quite there. You are not quite in that moment. So that requires a lot of self-work, new definitions of self. Because a twin flame does exist, and it is right there. And I will tell you it is right there. But you need to start recognizing these things that you're going through as the two-stage shift, the macro level shift that we're all experiencing, and then the microcosm shift. Because you and your twin flame are being called to come together. Not just so that you can experience this oneness, but because this source, this salvation, the Godhead wants to experience that oneness of love. And what better way than the reunification of the two halves into one whole so that they can be a broadcast signal for a greater, deeper love from the source. And now that signal needs to go out to the lands. So when you are looking at your internal responsibility and measuring this to your own clock and your own emotional manifestation, also think outside the box a little bit. Think that this is bigger than you. I challenge you. So we need to start adding new definitions to relationships and what is emerging through this process, this twofold process of an awakening. When you are beginning to see the light, when you are beginning to understand that your momentum is stalled, you feel as if you're not going the places in life you want to go, you don't feel complete, you don't feel as if you are manifesting what you need to, or you feel as if you need to do internal work, you're looking for some solitude, for some silence, you want to dive deeper into yourself, I call it spiritual PTSD, you need to understand that is a call from Source for the shift and new earth, and a call from your twin flame that is answering the shift and the Source's call. So it is a dual call. You are being called from God, and now God is calling you and your twin flame. Heavy, yes. Doesn't matter which God you believe in, because it's the same God that created all of us. Didn't really sit down and give us a label, truly. Didn't need to. And this whole 7 days equals 7 million years, or whatever they want to say. Look to our divine self. God can create a life and a baby in 9 months. It didn't take 7 million years to get us here. Come on. A woman would be pregnant for 10 years if that was the case. And we see life bouncing up all around us. You can see a complete forest fire devastate 1,000 acres. And within 3 years, that is fully repopulated, looking gorgeous, cleansed. People, look deeper than what you're being told. Look past what that I call it the nutter butter nurturing. They're giving you that manufactured peanut butter flavor when you should be going for the real natural stuff. So let's take a twin flame test. Would you like to take a test with me? A twin flame test. First off, twin flames are our mirror, as we know. Now, you feel that you've always somehow known this person. Do you agree or disagree, or you just don't know? I'm going to say I agree. And you can be honest with this person about anything. I would say, due to the fact of us being unable to be completely honest with ourselves, I would say it would be in the middle of the road. Now, you feel as though you've been waiting for this person your entire life. I would say that's an astounding, resounding yes. All of you know you've been, and this isn't just due to Disney, this is something inside. You feel free to be authentically yourself without fear around them. Well, I would say definitely. This person is your best friend, muse, teacher, and lover all at the same time. I would say yes, because that is the truth. The moment you met, you experienced an immediate, intense connection with them. Definitely yes. It was home right away, right? That's what you're going to tell me. You looked at that person and you saw your home. You both feel drawn towards the same higher calling or life's purpose. Yes, because that message is oneness. You feel a loss of identity with them as though you both merge into one person. I would say the identity is existential. Your identity is a brand that has been given to you. How you define yourself is a collective consciousness of your existence thus far. You are deeper. So I would say, even though you still retain your interests and your activities, that when you have a loss of identity and merge as one person, I would say yes. How would you describe your arguments and fights? Loud and explosive, or silent and bitter? We fight, but then we do what's intensely the opposite and make sweet love. We used to fight a lot at the beginning, but now we rarely have fights, and when we do, they are minor. Sometimes we fight, and when we do, it's insane. But we try to work together with our issues. Or we haven't had any arguments or fights. That's a tough question for a twin flame. I would say, judging from the explosiveness, it's going to be, we fight, but then we work. Your strengths and weaknesses perfectly complement each other. In other words, you become the embodiment of yin and yang. Agree. Even though you're in a relationship with them, you don't feel trapped by them. You feel free. That would be completely correct. Now, you both can easily read each other's thoughts and emotional energy. Now, that is what I just talked about with twin flame telepathy and the co-creative cognizance, being cognitive without consciousness. And that would be a resounding yes, all the time. And that's where you have to learn your boundaries with this. That whole telepathic communication, it started at birth, and it has been echoing through your whole life this time. So, yes, yes, yes. Your entire life has been re-examined and rebuilt from the ground up since meeting this person. Well, that is a work in progress question, but I'll agree with that. How would you describe the energy of the attraction you feel around this person? Erotic and playful, magnetic and explosive, or gentle and firm? Well, I would probably say it'd be all three. Gentle and firm is not fire. Magnetic and explosive, yes. You have found your twin flame. Oh my God. Where did they go? I found them, but where did they go? All right. What an immense blessing. Both of you are like two sides of the same coin. You complement each other's strengths and weaknesses and light and dark sides perfectly. Your twin flame is someone who you completely trust and feel and sense on an inner expanse around you. Your life may have changed drastically since meeting your twin flame, but you can't help but feel that this person has inspired you. They have pulled you out of your shell to become a better person, a bigger part of the whole. And although you both tend to mirror each other, and all those unresolved issues and wounds lead to conflict, you can accept those unconditionally if you truly try. Deep down, you might feel that you've known this person for an eternity, but you both share this calling to change the world, to be light workers, to be a blessing to all. That is your twin flame test. Now, I don't know if you've explored that or if you have investigated a twin flame phenomenon in your own life. I'm going to guess you have, or you wouldn't be here listening to me. Meeting your twin flame is like walking a tightrope. You know there's a net underneath you that will catch you. However, each step is methodically placed, one behind the other, and one in front of the other. All the while, you have to maintain balance. It is easy to get overwhelmed and to run, but that's not going to get anything done. You got to get that 11-11 mindset. That's what I'm talking about. Get that 11-11 mindset. And then you will start to make a difference. And where do we go from there? Well, once you know that's your twin flame, that's when the work begins. But getting there is still the difficult part, because I deal with people on a regular basis, my wonderful, lovely clients and patients that I come involved with. There's a stage that they're going through right now, an evolution. And I really despise that term, so let's use it as an elevation. Because they're not evolving from one being to another, or from one form to another. They are elevating. They are expanding. Their knowledge is increasing. Their vibration is increasing. Their awareness is increasing. And because we have been dumbed down by technology, and because we have been pulled apart, the family has been ripped in half by the system that we trust in. It has become a difficult situation to self-identify. So before you take your twin flame test, if you're listening to this and right now you're feeling lonely and you're feeling down and you're a bit discouraged because you don't have that person in your life, perhaps you have someone in your life and you don't want that person in your life because you don't see eye to eye. You know that that is not the one. Now, do what you need to do to hold true and steadfast to your legitimate commitments, i.e. children and any bills. Those karmic things need to be handled. But if you are at the end of the rope in a relationship that is no longer being a fulfilling relationship, that is no longer helping you move forward, it is grabbed you by the feet and held you fast in quicksand, then perhaps it is time to move forward. We were not necessarily designed to sit. We're nomads. We're wanderers. We need to wander the earth. We need to come upon ourself and see ourself. And if someone is seeing you subservient as a slave, like the system does, then you're not going to be able to see your true self. You're not going to be able to elevate into this new existential being. Pray. Push forward. Meditate. Find some silence. Unplug. Put your phone down sometimes. Start asking yourself the difficult questions. What would make me happy? And I guarantee you, it's not going to be just money. When I ask myself, and let me just lay myself out here for you. When I ask myself, what would make Ryan happy? A deep sense of connection. The undeniable sense of letting go. The fulfillment of being able to change lives daily. Being able to see the beauty that exists in this world as part of a way of life. To be an existential explorer, a spiritual quest, to be able to work and change lives, and to establish a new culture, a divine culture, based on seeing the divinity that exists and was born in us. We were created and fashioned with the hands of a loving, wonderful architect. Our suffering has not been through soul, but through self. Let us cling to the nature of not knowing and knowing that. If you dive in to love, dive in as deep as you can. Let love be your guide. Let love pull you through the deepest tides, through the darkest skies, because God is divine love. Work on these things before you start to tear yourself down and start to see yourself as inadequate and not enough. And remember, if you have not met your twin, they are there, listening, connected, only a hair away in the ether. Meditate, mantra, pray. Go to your closet, your prayer closet, and sit there and visualize. Tell this creative love what you really want to be happy. Not a Bentley, not a Malibu playhouse. No. You want to be seen. You want to be held. You want to be touched in your heart and on your body and in your soul. You want to feel the deep connection with your Creator through the divine of love. Let the work begin, and let's go forward. Start your work. Begin. Look for my twin flame meditation and my twin flame prayer. Those are all coming. And follow me on the Twin Flame 101, reviewing the 7 stages as we break it down over the next month or two, bringing you closer to what you truly desire. And I will leave you with a little bit of love from my wonderful, wonderful influence, Ed Sheeran. This is Ryan Keys, and I'll see you on the other side.